This is the Evil Never Dies podcast with Brett and Carl. This podcast may contain adult themes, violence, and strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 308. I got it right this week, Carl.
You got it right this week. You did.
Oh, so the snowmageddon didn't happen, really.
I told you it wasn't going to happen, but you just kept on and on and on.
I was hoping we'd get a foot, man.
Why?
I don't know, just because. Sometimes I miss the snow from Illinois.
Well, go back to Illinois then.
No.
Well, then we don't do snow in Texas.
I was going to say, I don't think it snowed in Texas. I thought it was like...
It doesn't. It's like once or twice a year. And when it does, it's just it's usually ice.
Yeah, and it's a big mess. And everybody loses their mind.
And Brett's been saying, oh, it's going to snow 10 feet. I'm like, no, it's not. And he's like, yeah, it is. It did not. It snowed 2 inches.
Well, here up north.
Oh my God.
My ex-wife.
I don't care about up north. I only care about here.
They got like 5 inches up there. Juliet got to build a snow puppy.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a special guest. You've already heard her, so
you hear her every week.
You hear her every week. She's the first person you hear. Welcome, Natasha. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So what's up? We just talked
Nothing much.
Before. You've had some home renovations going on, so
yeah, a little bit of renos, a little bit of work, a little bit of this and that. Getting there.
Awesome.
At least you didn't have to deal with ice like us here in Texas.
It was all gone today. It was almost 60 degrees today.
That's what it is. It'll be.
I would have a I would have a panic attack if I had to deal with ice, because where I'm from is like the Australian version of Texas. We don't do ice. We don't do snow. I literally would have no idea what to do. I would be in panic mode. I'm so scared of snow.
That's what happens here. Everybody panics.
Yeah. They think they can drive. They think they can drive 80 still on a patch of ice, and they can't. And yeah, but
that's all over with now, and we are going to review a movie that's still at the theater.
Yeah, it is. And
it's a vampire movie.
Yes, it is. And what was it? It was our New Year's Eve. And it was early in the morning. I messaged Natasha. I said, Happy New Year, because it was already New Year there.
Yes.
And she was like, oh, what are you guys doing or whatever? And I says, well, it's New Year's Eve. We're going to see Nosferatu tonight. She's like, oh, what time are you guys going? I'll go at the same time.
And she did.
And she did.
So we all saw it together.
Yep.
2 different
We made it work.
So here we are. We're going to review Nosferatu from 2024 tonight with a little help from our friend Natasha. So, all right.
This is not the 1921 version or 1922 version.
It's a remake of it.
It is a remake of it. Yes, it is.
Okay, let's see here. Directed by Robert Eggers, screenplay by Robert Eggers, based on Nosferatu by Henrik Galeen, produced by Jeff Rubino, John Graham, Chris Columbus, Eleanor Columbus, and Robert Eggers. Cinematography by Jaron Blaschke. Edited by Louise Ford. Music by Robin Carolan. Production companies are Maiden Voyage Pictures, Studio 8, Birch Hill Road Entertainment. Distributed by Focus Features in the U.S. and internationally by Universal Pictures. Release dates. Appeared at a film festival over in Berlin, December 2nd, 2024. And then wide release in the U.S. on December 25th of
On Christmas.
2024, Christmas Day. Has a running time of 132 minutes. Country of origin, United States. English language. Budget was $50 million. And so far it's made 106.2 at the box office. So
it's a hit.
Good. It's a hit. They've over doubled their money. So, all right, Carl, let's hear the plot.
Well, basically what this is, again, it's based on the 1922 Nosferatu movie, which was an unofficial adaptation of the Bram Stoker novel Dracula. So they didn't have permission to use any of the names, but they followed the story. And the 1922 version, they would end up getting sued and all kinds of stuff. So basically, this is a retelling
They did get sued.
Yeah. Well, they tried to destroy the movie and get rid of it.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that version. We're just going to get into the new version. And it is a remake of that. And it does follow Dracula almost to a T, except the characters are named differently. It's, the real estate man goes, in this case, they're in Germany because the original movie was actually a German film. So the not Jonathan Harker goes to Transylvania to meet with Count Orlok, and it's pretty much same old, told in a different way. This Count Orlok is a creepy dude. And so ends up of course falling in love with his fiance, who is apparently the Count's bride from the past. Sound familiar? So basically it's a retelling. They even get on the Demeter, not called that, and head to Germany this time. It's not London. So it is a retelling of Dracula with different characters and a lot more dark gothic than we've ever seen in any Dracula movie ever, including Bram Stoker's Dracula. So that's a quick synopsis of this. If you're familiar with the Dracula story, then there you go.
All right. All right, you're up, Natasha. Let's hear the cast.
So we have Lily Rose Depp as Ellen Hutter. She is Johnny Depp's daughter. She's a model, and definitely no Nepo baby, whatever. She incredible in this, so incredible. So she plays the main role, kind of like Mina Harker in the original. We have the delicious Nicholas Hout, whatever he is, as Thomas Hutter. He plays Ellen Hutter's husband, and his character is based off Jonathan Harker. So he's a real estate guy who goes and sorts everything out. We have Bill Skarsgård. I can never say his last name.
You got it right. I can never say his name either.
I have to really think about it, eh? He's obviously horror movie king. He played The Thing, It, whatever, in that other scary movie.
Yeah, that's Pennywise.
I'm real professional at this, can you tell? Anyway,
so
he plays Count Orlok. He plays Count Orlok / Nosferatu. And he is really incredible in this. This is something else. I didn't even recognize him in the start. Like, I know that he's apparently covered from head to toe in prosthetics. Apparently the only thing that wasn't in prosthetics for him is his feet. So it's really intense, but just the performance was unreal. He was something else. Anyway, obviously his character is based off Dracula. We have Aaron Taylor Johnson, who plays Frederick Harding. He is like a friend of the couple, the main couple, and his character's based off Arthur Homewood. We have the amazing William Dafoe. His character's based off the original Van Helsing, and he's that typical quirky, non-conventional older gentleman doctor. I actually think, because I love the original from the 1920s, and I actually think that he played such a good role and he really tied it in with the original Van Helsing. He was great. It was so good. Then they also have Emma Corrin, who plays Ellen's best friend, and her character is based off Lucy Westenara. They have Ralph Ineson, whatever. He is a doctor that treats Ellen through her melancholy, as they used to call it. And he's based off John Stewart. There's also Simon McBurney, who plays Hernock. He's based off Renfield. And for those people who are familiar with the Renfield character, he's obviously Dracula's very devoted, very under his spell servant. That's really it, isn't it? It's not a big cast.
And
Yeah, the rest are
5,000
just
5,000 trained rats.
rats, and
Oh
we
my
had a
God,
few
yeah, the
gypsies
rats.
in there.
And the maggots. Oh, apparently the maggots were real.
Yeah, they were real.
Ugh.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
All right. Well, thanks, Natasha, for giving us the cast. And I guess we'll move on to trivia. There's actually a lot of trivia on this. I was surprised. First off, the
Yeah, we have
exterior.
trouble with new movies and trivia, so I'm surprised too.
Yeah, I know. The exteriors of Orlok's castle were filmed at, I'm going to fuck this up, Hunadora Castle, also known as Corbin Castle, a Romanian castle located in Transylvania and one of the biggest medieval castles existent in Europe. What's more is the castle where Vlad Dracula was briefly imprisoned. That's old. According to Bill Skarsgård, his voice was the aspect of the part he worked hardest at. Spending 6 weeks before shooting, not doing much else than just recording himself, listening to his own voice. And on set, I would keep doing these same exercises. It sounds like the Mongolian throat singing. He did have a really, I guess he got with an opera singer and she trained him to lower his voice a whole octave so he could do that voice. So
One of the best
He did
voices
it in-
I've heard.
yeah, it was incredible. I can't even recognize his voice.
who it is, yeah.
It's insane. Yeah.
It was almost like it was like all CGI to me. But it wasn't, you know.
No, it was not.
No.
Yeah, he did a great job. Let's see here. The castle scenes, the interior scenes, castle scenes were filmed in Pernsten Castle in the Czech Republic, the same location that was used for Werner Herzog's film from 1979, Nosferatu the Vampire. You seen
Yeah,
that?
that was the
Carl?
original remake.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
I saw it years ago. I was never real impressed with it.
Yeah, it was like
Is this the one that came out in the 70s?
Yeah,
Yes.
79. Yep.
Yeah.
Have you
I
seen
haven't
it?
seen that yet. It's on my list. No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's like 270s almost version.
Yeah, it's doesn't hold up well.
Mm.
William Dafoe did a scene with 2,000 live trained rats. That would have been, I don't like rats. I'm not a big fan. Couldn't imagine 2,000 of them. To get the film's eerie moonlit look for the night scenes, the crew filmed the scenes during the daytime and then in post production ran it through a computer generated to remove the red and yellow color. So that's how they made them creepy bluish night scenes with the moon shining. So they just took out red and yellow. That's weird, ain't it? That you can do that
Different,
now.
but it looked good.
Yeah, it did. It looked real. It didn't look CGI. Let's see here. Preparation for his role as counterlok was reportedly so intense. Bill Skarsgård stated that is one role where he's ever truly terrified himself. In an interview with director Robert Eggers, Skarsgård said, "I've never been more terrified of a role and probably won't be again. The whole journey was so intense. Once you start channeling something that's not you, you feel like a vessel." After filming, he stated that he would never play a role as evil as this one again. Cool. I don't know. It's pretty fucking evil.
That's
Plays
true.
it
And we've
again.
got the
That
we got an It TV show coming out this year too on
Oh, really?
Max. Yes, prequel.
Oh, cool.
And
Ooh.
Skarsgård is playing the It clown again. So we'll see how that goes.
Bill Skarsgård was originally cast as Thomas Hutter. However, the film's long pre-production director Robert Eggers decided to recast Skarsgård as Orlok instead. In an interview with Skarsgård, Eggers stated that he felt the recasting was to make the sexual subtext between Orlok and some of his victims even more convincing. He didn't look very sexually appealing to me.
Not at all. He was sort of Skeletor looking, and I don't know how to describe the way he looked. I've never seen anything like it before.
It was the mustache too.
Well, the mustache is actually from Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and
People were complaining about the mustache, but it looks like Vlad the Impaler.
well, and back in that time, every aristocrat back at that time, especially like in Romania or whatever, they all had mustaches, you know.
Well, yeah, it's totally right.
It was considered as being very dignified to have a mustache. So
I loved the mustache. I thought it just made him seem so much more real and more terrifying. Like to me, he really did look like the decaying corpse of some OG like nobleman from, Transylvania. Like he looked the part so good. And it just made it more creepy because it was like, wow, a vampire has facial hair. I thought it was really good. It brought a whole different elements to it.
didn't Christopher Lee play Dracula and he had a mustache? What didn't we review a movie?
It was in the non-Hammer film. It was the Jess Franco one.
Oh, okay, okay, that's right.
Did he have a beard in that? I don't remember.
No, just a '70s porn mustache.
Hmm.
But do remember, Gary Oldman did have a mustache in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, he did, and a beard goatee.
He looked a lot like the actual Vlad the Impaler. So I think that movie gave a little bit of inspiration to this movie.
All right,
Yeah, but you
Robert
also
Egg.
got to remember, I'm from the generation where like vampires are sexy and they're sparkle and they're all these things. Like
No, they
I
don't.
can't remember. I don't think yeah, they don't. And that's it. Like from my generation, I don't think we've ever really had a proper, scary, creepy facial hair vampire in a long time.
Well, the last voyage of the Demeter had a pretty monstrous looking Dracula, but it didn't look like Dracula. It didn't even look like a vampire. It was
Look more like
almost
a demon.
more like a demon. It didn't even look like, yeah. So I think they sort of dropped the
Yeah,
ball with the look in that movie. I think they tried
absolutely.
too
I
hard.
don't even, yeah, I don't even think it's that scary. Like, my
It's not.
7-year-old niece loves horror. Yeah, she loves horror movies. She's 7, and I don't think she'd be scared of that. Like, it was pretty, I don't know, it was creepy. It was a good movie. It was creepy, but it was missing a lot of stuff.
All right. Robert Eggers co-directed a stage production of Nosferatu in high school.
How cool is that?
Yeah, no shit. Producer Chris Columbus said Bill Skarsgård was so terrifying in costume that he couldn't even approach him on set. That is until Skarsgård started cracking jokes and making everyone laugh. Then Columbus knew Nosferatu had a sense of humor. All right. We've talked about this. The original version was almost lost. And I didn't know it was called, I thought it was just called Nosferatu. I didn't know it was called Nosferatu, a
A
Symphony of
Symphony of
Horror.
Horror. Yes, it was. And yeah, they tried to destroy every print of it that existed, but they missed some.
Yep.
So
Good. Yeah, that was a big deal when they found them. Wasn't that like in the early 2000s when they finally found them?
I
It was
believe a proper
90s
print.
maybe.
Well, they had like some just crappy looking prints, but the current version that you can get, Kino Lorber, I believe, has it out on Blu-ray. It's also on Vudu, and it's the pristine cut. So you're right. They found that later, but I don't know the details. I didn't study the 22 movie enough to talk about it tonight
All right.
because I'm afraid I would have started talking about that and took up the whole show because I'm really fascinated by that movie.
Yep. Even though you
Because
got to read it.
well, I still think Max Schreck was probably a real vampire.
Yeah, he
The
was creepy
original
looking,
Count
man.
Orlok. Yeah, I think he really was a vampire.
All
I
right,
don't
and
know. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
the
And yeah,
original.
it is hella creepy. Yeah, it's so creepy. Because it's old timey. It's like a proper silent movie, and the people there just look creepy and
They
all the
look
things.
creepier in those silent movies,
And there's
like
so
Lon
much trivia
Chaney.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm,
Like Lon Chaney in the original
mm,
Phantom of the Opera. That's one of the
Yes.
creepiest faces in horror.
Ever. Yeah, and the Count
mm,
Orlok is just as creepy. So
Yep.
whatever they were doing in the
mm-hmm.
20s, it was definitely some scary stuff.
Yep.
100%, 100%.
An extended cut of the film will include footage of Orlok that was glimpsed in the film's trailer, but not in the theatrical version. The scene is Orlok seen from the back. It's one of those annoying things for film dorks because it's not in the movie. Director Eggers said the shot, it's a really cool shot, really like the shot, but where it was intended, it was ruining some tension to know that Orlok was around. He added, we needed to keep him more mysterious. But if you would wish to purchase the Blu-ray, it's in an extended cut of the film. So I'm sure Carl will be getting this on 4K.
I will be as soon as I can.
Well, what were we looking at the movie trading company that was already out on 4K and Blu-ray?
Terrifier 3.
Yeah, yeah. I still need to go buy that, man. I need to go buy that Blu-ray.
Yeah. You know, it's whenever I switch my Count Karabi character to the silicone mask, it looked very Nosferatu like, but it geez, this look is just I've never seen anything like it
Very
in
different.
this movie.
Very
Yeah.
different.
And like Natasha said, that mustache just made it look even more,
And it was sort of like
undead.
rotting off of him. It wasn't really
Yeah.
like on him, you know. It was just creepy as
It
shit.
was wet. Blah.
Yeah.
It was wet. Ugh.
Director Robert Eggers credits SpongeBob SquarePants for introducing the character of Nosferatu to younger generations in the season 2, episode 16A on the 36th episode entitled Graveyard Shift Krusty Love. In 2002, SpongeBob and Squidward are left in charge overnight at the Krusty Krab. Squidward tells SpongeBob the story of the hash slinging slasher, which momentarily scared SpongeBob. In the middle of the episode, the lights periodically start flickering on and off, and SpongeBob and Squidward become creeped out. At the end of the episode, someone holding his own spatula shows up at the Krusty Krab, whom SpongeBob and Squidward mistake for the hash slinging slasher, asking for a job application. The three then discover that the continuously flickering lights are due to Nosferatu, which has a shot, the famous doorway scene from the 22 film.
What the hell are you talking about?
Flicking the light on and off on the thing. That's what the guy said. He said that
Nobody cares about SpongeBob.
you don't like SpongeBob?
No.
Fucking love SpongeBob.
We're talking about Nosferatu,
you
not
like
SpongeBob.
Natasha? No comment.
Nobody likes SpongeBob.
I fucking love
I
SpongeBob.
used to like him when I was young. But kind of old for SpongeBob. He's all right.
But yeah, we don't want to hear a SpongeBob story in the middle of Nosferatu.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Bubba.
This is the second Nosferatu related film that Willem Dafoe, who plays Professor Alban Eberhard von Franz in the film, stars in. First was Shadow of the Vampire from 2000.
Yes.
Dafoe. Have you seen that? I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that movie.
I can't find it on.
I've got it on DVD. I don't have it on Blu-ray, but I've also got it on my Vudu, and it's a 2K upgrade, I believe. It's not 4K. Yeah, that's the movie that basically says that Max Schreck was a vampire and killing people on the set.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Shadow of the Vampire. I recommend that if you like the Nosferatu story, watch this movie.
Yeah, he played.
Guess what I'm doing after this?
Yeah.
He played Max Schreck in it. So yeah.
Yes, it's a very good movie and very underrated, and has a lot of sort of a tongue-in-cheek to it as well. So it's a fun movie. So definitely recommend that one.
All right. Harry Styles and Anya Taylor-Joy were originally cast in the lead roles. Styles dropped out due to scheduling conflicts, and the project was delayed, which resulted in Taylor-Joy also dropping out later. She was filming Furiosa, a Mad Max saga from 2024. And then Lily Rose Depp took over the part. So
she did, like Natasha said, she did a freaking wonderful job.
Yeah.
And I'm not familiar with her as an actress.
Neither am I. That's like the first time I even seen her in anything, really.
Yeah.
She hasn't done much. I think she's done like a couple of like TV shows, a few episodes here and there. She doesn't actually have a huge acting portfolio. And I think this might actually be her very first movie. But yeah, she was something else. Do you know all the scenes where she's having like her epileptic fits and all the tremors? None of that is CGI. That's all her.
Oh, really? Like the bending
Yeah,
over backwards.
how
and
freaking
shit.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all her.
Wow.
I was like,
That's crazy.
it
Yeah.
was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shaking and shit. That's crazy. That was actually her, huh? Wow. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, there's
see.
minimal to no CGI on her at all, which blows my mind.
Yeah, it is very, yeah.
All right. Ellen's
I don't even know how to
cat.
describe it. It was so good. I'm just kind of speechless.
Ellen's cat, whom she says has no master or no mistress, is named Greta after Ellen Hunter's original actress, Greta Schroeder. Also, Ellen owned a cat in Nosferatu, the Symphony of Horror from 22. So,
Well, that's good trivia. I want to hear about cats, not no damn SpongeBob. I love cats. You know this.
yeah, you got another one in the house now.
Yeah. Charlie Chaplin. Although Brett calls him something, he calls him a bad word.
Uh, Orlok's entrance into the Hutter home with his shadow crossing the walls, mirrors, and the iconic shot from the 22 version of Orlok ascending the stairs.
That is the most iconic shot, I think, in horror movies,
Yeah,
period. It was the first, really. And yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
very iconic.
Filming started in Prague, Czech Republic in March of 2023 at the historic landmark known as Invalidona. Film wrapped May 29th of 2023. So 3 months and they were done with that film. Then they had a lot of editing to do.
Boy, yeah.
All right. We've already talked about the mustache.
The cat? No, the Orlok, yeah. My Charlie Chaplin cat has a little mustache on him, is where he got his name.
The name Orlok was likely derived from the Dutch word conlog. It's pronounced remotely Orlok. How do you get that out of or Orlog, not Corlog.
Orlog.
I
And
would have no clue.
that means war. It means war in Dutch. So, let's see.
Interesting.
Flowers often carry symbolism. Purple lilacs are handed and mentioned throughout the movie on significant moments. The specific variants with a lighter shade of purple are traditionally associated with the one's first love or the first time one feels love. For someone, an important theme in the movie. I love lilacs. I used to have a big lilac bush like right next to my bedroom window, and that was awesome. Open up that bedroom window and instant air freshener.
Yeah.
Huge lilac bush. Fucker was probably 30 foot tall.
Oh, wow.
That was up in Illinois. So, this is the third collaboration between director Robert Eggers and Ralph Ineson. The first two are The Witch and The Northman from 2022.
I have seen The Witch, but I have not seen the Northman, and I haven't seen the Lighthouse either.
The
But
Lighthouse, that's just, I don't know, man.
well, I'm gonna
Have you
bust you
seen
right
that,
here.
Natasha?
I've seen it. I attempted to see it. It's a bit slow. It's a bit
It is
long.
slow.
I kind of got bored. The
Yeah.
Northman is not too bad. Again, I never finished watching it. I'm one of those people I got to be in the mood for the movie, and one of these days when I'm in the mood for the movie, I will finish watching it because it seems good. Um, but I loved The Witch. That
Me too.
terrified me back
Yeah,
in the
that was
day.
scary. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
It's
I'm
almost
gonna
like
bu
it's almost like a M. Night Shyamalan movie type of thing.
Sort of.
Boy, yeah.
But no,
Mm.
I'm about to bust Brett. He went to sleep during the Nosferatu.
Just during the boring parts twice.
He went to sleep
What
twice,
was the boring part?
right? Yeah, Brett, tell
Uh,
us.
yeah, I fell asleep. I admit it. Was I snoring? Was it loud?
No, I
Was I
just saw your head doing this little number,
doing the Jello
and
neck
then you
head?
would jump back up, and then you
Did,
would.
did, did the Jello neck head bob?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Brett went to sleep.
Uh, not through the
And I'm
whole
like,
thing.
I was like, I bet he didn't like this. Oh, I liked it.
I think
It's just slow.
I think I fell asleep in Halloween ends too. All right.
Although I have to say, even though it's not that long, it felt long to me.
It is.
I
It
don't
is
know
pretty long.
why. Oh, is it? Okay, cool. So it wasn't
Yeah,
just
it's
me.
2 hours and 15 minutes, I believe. So
Yeah.
that's a little longer. Average horror movies usually run about an hour 30,
Oh.
hour 45. So this one ran pretty long.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, it was a good long, like everything still made sense and you didn't kind of, get bored,
I
but it
think being in
felt
the
a little long
theater
to
made it a
me.
little harder. I think watching it at home,
Mm.
I would enjoy it more.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
sitting in the theater that long gets a little, yeah. And we went, at night. So we got to give Brett credit. It was, we saw it late at night, and you need to see it in the big screen, but I think it is a little long for the theater. Now, when they come out
Mm.
with the long version on 4K at home, I'm going to be all over that. Just like I prefer the Justice League, what is that, 4.5 hour version they released a few years ago? I watched that thing in one sitting at home.
Oh no,
Loved it.
that's crazy. Nicholas Holt also started another loose adaptation of Dracula, Renfield. He played Renfield from 2023. Have you guys seen that yet? Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah, it was a good one. It
Yeah,
was
I
good.
liked
It
it,
was
man.
funny.
Yeah, it's like a horror comedy for sure.
I
Definitely.
still haven't watched Dracula Dead and loving it either.
You've never seen that?
No.
Oh my God, that's
Leslie
awesome.
Nielsen's, yeah, no. I don't want to
I
see
need to watch
Dracula made
that.
fun of.
Put it on your list,
I think
Natasha.
it's I think
Don't.
that movie's more about how Hollywood has kind of made Dracula what it is, and how a lot of things don't make sense about Dracula that we now perceive as real mythology, and it's satire in that way.
I think you're
Um,
right.
and I think
Yeah.
that's because I saw an interview with the director, Robert, whatever his name is, and that's what he was saying, that he kind of wanted to incorporate elements of that in. Because in the scene where Nicholas Hoult is with the gypsies, they're warning him not to go to the castle, but he's German. He doesn't understand Romani. So he's like, okay, cool, I'm still going to the castle. But he doesn't understand their warnings because they wouldn't all speak the same language. And even things like in the movie, they're like, oh, we know he can't leave his cursed soil and he can't see sunlight, but we don't know what happens when he sees sunlight. So it was just like stepping away from this ingrained mythology that we've had from Hollywood for the last 100 years and kind of like, you know, making it be like, oh, this is what it would have been like if people were in a real life vampire situation. But
Yeah,
yeah, anyway, I wanna see the other one too. I want to see them all.
going back to Christopher Lee and Lugosi, they did play that more. Well, Christopher Lee and not as much, but the more romantic Dracula that's, and the character should be more monstrous. So, but then
Mm.
again, we got the Bram Stoker version where Gary Oldman starts out as an old monster and he starts to get young and vibrant as he drinks blood, and I sort of like that idea as well. So
Mm.
you
Yep.
got
I
need to
kind of
look at it
found.
from that aspect as well.
Mm. I found the blood drinking in this Nosferatu so freaking
Oh,
creepy.
I know the
It was
sucking
like
sounds.
Yeah, it was.
You could like hear
just
the
the
blood
whole
like coming
thing,
out of out of their veins or whatever. It
and
was
the whole in
awesome.
the chest, and then he's sitting there, and then it's kind of like he's grinding them. Oh, it was awful. It was awful. Oh no, not for
Yeah, it
me.
was. It was pretty creepy. And that's coming
Mm.
from a vampire player. Even I thought it was creepy.
Oh, Bill Skarsgård is now the second member of the acting Skarsgård family to work with Robert Eggers. Eggers had previously directed his brother Alexander Skarsgård in The Northman from 2022, and he also played a vampire in True Blood.
That's right.
Did you watch True Blood? I don't know if we
I
talked about
liked
that.
True Blood for the first season, and then I hated it after that. They ruined the show
Yeah,
forever.
I made it till the third season.
When they brought in that bull, man, that's what ruined the show for me.
Yeah, I think that was like the third season. Yeah.
Whatever, yeah. But I thought it started out as a phenomenal show, but it just got stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Our buddy Greg Green thought that bull man was the coolest thing ever. Don't ask me.
Are you a True Blood fan, Natasha?
Never seen an episode.
Never seen
You're
an
not missing
episode.
nothing. Don't
No,
waste your
never seen
time
an
At least
episode.
watch the first season. Shit.
now. It's just a letdown.
All right,
It's a letdown.
I'll
It
watch
it
the
starts out so
I'll
good and
watch the
gets so
first
bad.
season. I'll watch the first season and I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Watch the
The
first
best,
episode. I don't care. Don't watch it.
the
I
be,
don't care.
the best vampire show is still Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Anyway, as far as the TV show, Buffy's the best.
All right. This is the second time that Bill Skarsgård has portrayed a vampire. First time was in the Netflix show Hemlock Grove from 2013. I don't know if I've watched that or not. Hemlock Grove on
It
Netflix.
sounds very familiar to me, but I don't remember anything about it,
Is
so
it
I
one
don't
of
know.
them vampire werewolf things?
Could be. I think you might be onto something there.
I'm not a big fan of them conglomerations.
Why?
I don't know if they do it good, like the underworld
Underworld?
stuff. Yeah, but some of it's cheesy. All right, we've talked about everything else, so
Yeah, we've got some good trivia out of this, except for the damn SpongeBob
I knew
speech.
you were gonna say that.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
SpongeBob. All right, it's time getting down to the nitty gritty now. We're gonna review it. We're gonna let Natasha go first.
You mean rate it
Yeah,
and review.
rate it. Yeah, and tell us your thoughts and what you
I
think.
thought it I thought it was really good. I thought it was really creepy. I thought it was a really good remake of 100-year-old movie. I actually, like I said, I loved the original, and I was thinking that they were gonna absolutely ruin it. But so good, so good, and I love all the little throwbacks to the original. And I think it's really breathed a new life into horror and vampire movies in particular. And I really like how everything was scary. It's not just the vampire that's scary, like um, Ellen Hutter, whatever her name is, she was scary. And it was scary how the doctors are like, oh, we'll just tie her up to the bed. And there's just a lot of vampire themes that they covered in here that's really subtle. But if you're into your horror and all that, you'd probably pick it up. Um, yeah, I thought best damn movie that I've seen in a long time. So 5 stars for me.
All right, 5 stars.
5 stars. Okay. All right, Carl, you're up. I'm going
Okay.
last.
Um, it's everything I expected it would be, but more. They kind of hid his look. You know, they didn't go around showing what he was going to look like, so it was a kept secret I didn't get to see until the movie, and that made it even more special. He didn't look like the traditional Nosferatu, which was good, like we talked about. Very creepy. I thought the cinematography was phenomenal. Best cinematography I've seen in a horror movie, probably since Bram Stoker's Dracula, honestly. Soundtrack was phenomenal. I've got it on Apple Music, but I haven't had a chance to really get into the nitty gritty and listen to it yet.
It's awesome, dude. I listened to the whole
Um,
thing.
the to me, this should be an Academy Award winning movie just based on the cinematography, the score. Um, the acting is phenomenal in it. Everybody did a great job. The only thing is, as we talked about, it does go a little bit long, I feel. I think they put a little bit too much into it. And again, maybe at home they can do the longer version. It would have been better. Um, about almost near the end, it started to slow down just enough to where I was like, well, what's going to happen here? But that didn't bother me. Um, I'm going to give this thing a 4.8. I'm not going to give it a complete 5. Definitely one of the best vampire movies I've seen in years. Back to Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is still the gold standard for me. Um, Definitely recommend, and Skarsgård was absolutely phenomenal. So I say it should be an Academy Award winner.
Okay. All
Now
right.
you, Bubba.
Well, I agree
Go to
with
sleep
you
during
in
the
all
movie,
of them aspects that you already talked about. The
but
cinematography was spectacular. It better win the
it
Academy
better win.
Award for cinematography. Uh, I couldn't even tell there was any CGI in it, except for maybe like some shots where they're flying over the cities or whatever. I can understand that, doing that for the
I keep thinking there's a butts coming though.
butts coming.
You're gonna say but, and then say
I
something.
couldn't tell there was any CGI in it really, except for the couple of things we talked about tonight. And I was amazed that it was CGI, so, but yeah, the lighting and everything. And it was actually quite a beautiful film. And I don't say that
Yes.
about nothing.
It is. It does bring a lot of the, even though it's horrific, it does have a lot of the romantic aspects of the Dracula novel, which we don't normally see
Exactly.
in the right way. Because, like I said, usually you got all these romantic, handsome looking Bela Lugosi's running around. This is a lot more to the novel, I think. You've got the romance. He's in love with this girl, but he's a monster. So there you go. They portrayed that very well.
Okay. The score is phenomenal also. I've listened to it twice now, the whole thing all the way through. It's awesome. Better win for that too, for best score. So
No butts, huh?
yeah, it did get
Yeah, I knew
long,
it
and
was coming. Natasha, I knew it was coming from it. Let's
it's
hear it,
slowed
Bubby.
down. It's slowed down in a couple of spots. That's probably when I took a nap. Uh but 2 hours and 15 minutes, they could have shortened it down a little bit. Uh just like some of his traveling scenes and shit like that when he's traveling through the mountain, you know.
No, we needed that, Brett. That's the throwback to the original. We needed them.
Yeah, they
They're the
had
most
too much
I
of
important
it.
agree.
scenes.
How much do you got to see of him walking through the forest mountains? It was a little long. They could have shortened that down a little bit.
That part didn't bother me.
Uh,
I thought it
and
was
the,
good.
in the
No.
very end, great ending. The only thing, the only thing that sort of freaked me out was the melting penis at the very end. It was like they just had to throw that in at the very end.
Yeah.
So, uh, I'm gonna be right there with you. I'm gonna give it a 4.8, Carl.
Oh,
It's
wow. I didn't
it,
expect that from you.
it's Oscar worthy for sure.
I
And
did not
Willem
expect you to rate it
Dafoe,
that high.
Willem Dafoe did such a good job in it too.
He did.
Uh, uh,
Very
When
good
does he
portrayal
not
of.
do a good job, though?
if
That's
you
true.
if you wouldn't already known that Bill Skarsgård was playing that part, you wouldn't have known it was
You
him.
wouldn't have known it was him.
Mm.
But yeah, Defoe did a great job as a Van Helsing, a different version that we've never seen before.
Yep, very scientific Van
Yeah.
Helsing for sure. So yeah, 4.8.
I felt like he was true to the original Van Helsing. I
I
thought he
think
was really
so.
bloody good. Mm.
All right.
So everybody loves it.
Yeah, I was quite
Mhm.
impressed. I think
I
it's the
cannot.
best. I think it's the best thing that came out last year at all for sure.
Well, you were saying it was the best thing that Hollywood has put out, is what
Yeah,
made me
yeah,
think.
that Hollywood. Yeah,
Well, I don't know what
exactly.
independent film tops this. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. Uh, yeah, it's the best thing that Hollywood has put out this whole year for
I think it's
sure.
the best horror movie that came out, period. I don't know anything that was better.
Exactly. So
Yeah, I'm similar to Carl. I'm really trying to struggle to find something that's come out that's as good.
nothing.
Maybe The Terrifier 3.
That's an independent film though, basically.
I'm just playing.
So it was
Two
good
two
though.
different worlds, two different worlds.
Two different worlds. Yep. So. All right. Well, that's all we got for Nosferatu 2024. Uh, thanks for coming on, Natasha. We appreciate it.
Thank you
Uh,
for having
if you
me.
if you want to shout out your business or whatever, and I'll put your stuff in the show notes too for you. got a website?
Yeah,
or-
sure thing.
Go ahead, shout it out. Shout it out.
Well, I do a bit of tarot, as people know. I do astrology and all of that. If anyone's keen on a tarot reading, let me know. I can do it over email, Zoom, FaceTime, whatever. And yeah, hit me up.
Okay. And what about your regular business that you got? Don't you run a spa?
Oh, my beauty stuff. Yes,
Yeah.
you have to be in Australia and local for that, though. I can't do your brands over the internet. But if
No,
anyone wants a tarot reading, let me know.
might have to hit you up for a tarot reading. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
thanks.
come. We'll do it. We'll sort it out.
Well,
Cool.
thanks for coming on, girl. We appreciate it. We love you. Thanks for what you've done for us, for sure. You're the voice of the podcast, and we appreciate you. So, and it was cool. We could watch
Oh,
a movie.
appreciate you guys too.
It was cool. We could watch a movie together. So,
How awesome. I'm so glad it worked out that way. It was meant to be. Like, can you believe I got a session the exact same time as you guys? Like,
That was too
how
freaking cool.
awesome.
I was bragging at that at work to everybody.
Mm,
and then
yeah.
you messaged me the next day, and you're like, "When you guys review the podcast, you got to have me on. You got to have me on." I'm like, "Girl, we're already thinking about that. We
Yeah.
done talked about that." So,
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm like, everyone needs to know about this movie. It's so good. So good.
Agree.
Like, I need to be on it. I watched it with you.
well, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening. Get us a hold of us on the social medias and all that. And still got a couple of t-shirts left. So, a couple large, couple extra large. So, scoop them up. And that's all I got. You guys got anything else? You got anything, Carl?
Just credit again to Chris Menta for our new theme song. A lot of people are asking if they could actually download it, and Chris said that all he's got is just that it's more of a snippet. So I posted the little link on in the Facebook page.
Okay.
So credit to Chris again. Everybody's loving that new song. They say it fits us perfectly.
Awesome. I love it too. So, what do you think, Natasha? What do you think of the new music?
I love it.
Cool. Had what Sean Lehman from Middle Age and Creeped Out said it reminded him of the music from the video game Castlevania.
I could see that. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I hear
Very
all kinds
proud
of.
that we got our own unique theme now. You know, the second one we had, you know, it was more of a public domain song, and it was a good song, but this is all ours, and I'm very proud of that.
Me too. All right, everybody. Thanks again, and stay evil.
Come to me. Come to me. Hear my call. Come to me. Professor, my dreams grow darker. Does evil come from within us or from beyond?
He is coming. He is coming. He is coming to us.
He's coming.
Who is coming to you, my child? We are here encountering the vampire. Nosferatu.